Okay, so I have a crazy thought that maybe the crank position sensor isn't giving a reading. It's that sensor there. I'm going to try and replace that, but I wanted to get in mainly to check these grounds, which I believe are good because I tested them from the battery. And then I just wanted to make sure that nothing was pinched off under here. This wiring harness, everything's kind of protected here in the center by this cover, and it goes back here over to the injectors. Same thing over here. It's protected. Comes over here. So what you have to worry about is it getting pinched either here under the intake or here under the intake. But there's tape there that would have come off. That sits down underneath there, so there's no way you can get that really pinched. This side there would be a little bit of concern, but I'm looking at the wiring harness. It wasn't pinched. It'd be flattened out or anything there. There'd be signs of it. So when I lifted it up, it was sitting like that. So as you can see, the intake comes up off of there. So just checking to make sure nothing's pinched, make sure all the connections are good. So the engine harness inside the car comes through right here to this point. So when I do this job, I disconnect this and this. These two sides come away with the engine. Those two sides sit back there. So I took and blew compressed air in there thinking maybe debris got in there because, you know, it does get unplugged here, but it just gets unplugged and sits right here. It's dormant. It doesn't do anything. So, but I did blow compressed air in there. And again, all the things are getting signals because it's getting signal up to this stuff. Still has the CAN bus high-speed error to the VDC, which is that. Check the wiring harness here and connector here. It's connected. I just think that unit is just crapped out. Unfortunately, that controls a lot of things, not just the ABS. It communicates to the body control module underneath the dash, up underneath, that gives all the signals for engine controls. So I'm going to try and replace that sensor. That's just fuel from unplugging the fuel rail to get down here. I'm going to unplug this sensor and take a look at it, see if there's debris back behind there. There's possibility that some debris could get in there maybe between the magnet and the tone wheel and the transmission. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. But just wanted to show like grounds. I've gone and connected the cleaned the ground here. Made sure I've got the cleanest ground possible there. These grounds are good. The ground for this actual unit, there's a ground wire that comes off there and goes down to the frame. I've cleaned the frame down. Let me get this wire out of the way, or hose. I've cleaned that down to bare metal and cleaned the connector. I came underneath here, cleaned it to bare metal for the connector there, cleaned it to bare metal for the connector there, sprayed off the connector on this side that just goes from engine to ground, which that's clean, and that's clean. So the grounds that I can access are clean and good. I've took the video of the timing. The timing is dead nuts on. There's no ambiguity there. So I'm just kind of, while I'm waiting for a shop to get back to me in regards to something close to her that's not Subaru, I thought I'd at least try and replace that. Fingers crossed that was all it was. But just kind of wanted to take some video to show you that nothing was pinched or anything like that. It'd be hard to get something pinched. I'd have to take this and, I mean, I'd really have to stretch it over to get it into an area where it could get pinched off, putting the intake manifold on. This one, you could say maybe, but it sits below. I don't know if you can see that. It sits in a groove down below there. So when you put the intake on, that's off of there.